Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we are going to be looking at some awesome new terrain from Imperial Terrain, and we're going to show you a little bit of this new set, give you a sneak peek at what it can do, as well as just kind of really show this thing off. I'll put some minis on here. I'll show you kind of the different heights and the way that the minis will look with it, and really just showcase this beautiful terrain. This was sent out to me by Imperial Terrain, so big thanks to Imperial Terrain for kind of hooking the channel up with some really nice terrain that's going to work well with your tree top and kind of foresty type of settings, especially with Wookiees kind of being very popular right now, and of course Ewoks have been recently teased, and we're going to be getting more and more Ewoks, especially into 2023. So that's definitely going to be a thing. I think there's definitely high demand for foresty type Ewok village reminiscent style terrain, Kashyyyk compatible terrain. You know, granted these huts may be a little bit small for Wookiees, so I think your Ewoks are going to be in mind as you get into this stuff. If you guys are new here to the channel, we are still giving away a lightsaber. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. I would like to hear what your favorite type of table setups are, and what you think of this terrain. If you want to check them out, you're going to find a link in the video description below. Also, I want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Be sure to check out luxuryplaystyle.com. You can save 15% off of amazing Full Metal tokens by using code Crabbok VIP. So definitely check out luxuryplaystyle.com. You're going to get a free lightsaber nunchuck token if you use that code and spend $35 or more. So definitely check them out. With all that being said, let's take a look at some of this amazing terrain and how you can put it together, and we're going to do some different configurations with it. All right, so first up, the piece that I was just showing you is kind of a base piece. Now, this is the base of a very, very large tree, which you do see plenty of these on Endor, where they filmed this out in California with the big redwoods. And, you know, we had a lot of those big old trees, and that is definitely on my bucket list to get out there and see those in person before they are no longer with us. And so with all the wildfires out there, I'm thinking to myself, like, it's probably better to book a vacation like that sooner rather than later. But yeah, so we have this awesome base. Now we have a top here that's kind of cut flat because we can put extra things on top of that. And so you have this awesome new groove system here. And I have a top here, right here, that can go on top of this. Now this is just perfect for our games because you can put vehicles, you can put a speeder on here, you can put minis on here, you can have lots of minis on here. Look at this, I can have a whole group of Wookiees on here, no problem. Look, maybe they're going to be fighting against some clones. You know, I got lots of room on top of this thing, right? And so very, very large. And of course, if you're getting STL files from Imperial Terrain, you can print them, you know, a little smaller if you want, but I think this is a really, really good size. Giggity. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to be showing you kind of how these things can go together, because these have this really cool clip system, and this clip can go into these, and I already have them in here, but you can stick these clips in here and they kind of lock in, right? And then you can do that to, you don't need glue, which is really, really cool, because sometimes like you don't want to glue stuff together because you want to reconfigure it, right? And so let me make sure I get it aligned just right, and boom. And now I've got this whole piece, right? Look at that. And now this is ready to go. And I like this quite a bit. We have some other pieces that I want to show you too, but with this, like, we also have these sections underneath. I'm going to set the whole piece upside down right now because I want to show you some of the other pieces that can go in here too. So we have this like hanging moss, right? And this has 4 clips in it. We've got like 4 lines right here. So what I can do is I can set this hanging moss up there. Now I'm only putting 1 clip in here just to demonstrate, but I would put all 4 in, and boom. And now I've got the hanging moss right there. Now 1 clip is actually enough to hold it in a little bit, but I probably want more than that. So let me put another clip in. I'll put that one right here. Boom. And of course I should probably use all 4 because it comes with 4. But then all of a sudden I've got my hanging moss, and now I've just added even more life to this piece. And there's lots of different stuff. There's hanging vines, which really look cool. We've got a different type of piece of hanging moss, you know, ready to go in wherever you want. But there are more pieces we're going to show you too. All right, so we've got another tree base here. So you can have multiple different trees. You can build a whole forest. This is a really detailed base too. We've got little mushrooms over here. Make me thinking of the Smurfs, right? You got a Smurf village that actually live under here. You've got some fungus kind of growing into the side of the tree. This is just beautiful. You have so much detail even underneath in there too. This is a really spectacular piece. I'm loving it, and you have so much detail too in the ground here too, and it's printed very, very well too. Now, if you don't have a printer, I believe Imperial Terrain works largely with STL files, so you may want to. Now, there are some people that will, that will. I think there are dedicated resellers, but again, if you check the video description because we're gonna have all the links to get you squared away. But for all you 3D printer enthusiasts out there, Imperial Terrain makes some of the best STL files that are out there. They're really, really high quality. If you've seen my Naboo table, most of what is on my Naboo table is Imperial Terrain. And if you go to Crabbok.com and you look at reviews, I've got a whole reviews section, and you can see more of those. We have another piece here. Now, this is like a second tier, but it also has the flat top. So it's got the top and the bottom. So this is a middle piece. So you can make it as tall as you want. You can print out like 3 of these and just have like a height 7 table that's like 3 or 4, 5 feet tall if you want. I don't necessarily recommend that. I think 3 is probably the most you probably want to do, but I could see some people maybe doing a 4th tier at some point. You can totally do that. You can do whatever you want. You can have fun with it, and that's what we're doing here. We've got like some a basket of laundry out here, or maybe it's just entrails for the Ewoks' latest victims. I've got a couple of huts in here, but also a lot of room again for your people to kind of have to be up there. I think this type of terrain also, while it's really cool for Wookiees and Ewoks as it looks better with them, I think it's also going to work really, really well with Mandalorians and Jedi and anybody who has jump. You got your 501st with all your ARC troopers, right? And they're going to be jumping around. This would be a really good terrain piece for stuff like that. We've got these little tiki torches all around also. So really, if you enjoy painting terrain, and I know a lot of you out there do, this is going to be a great way to kind of like, you're going to base it mostly in brown. And then you're kind of mostly good to go. Then you can add some green highlights and probably put some shading on there and make the wood look a little different than the tree itself. You want like maybe a darker brown for the tree and then a lighter brown for this wood or something like that. And then it won't be that hard to get it tabletop ready. But then if you really want to go further and really add extra life, you can put some lighting effects on the torches, and you can put some color in some of these little details, and then like there's a little bowl back in there you can barely see, right? There's so many cool little features of this. We have a whole other piece here. We've got a top level piece, and this one has kind of the top of the tree on it. And we've got look, they were partying. We got some cups left over. This must have been post Endor's, post Death Star 2 battles celebration, right? We've got lots of little some Maluron fruits possibly in there, some stuff like that. We've got all kinds of cool things in here. So really, really fun. And I'm going to show you how some of this all goes together. Okay. So when I'm putting these together, I'm going to want to put some of these little bridge connector pieces underneath, and what those do is those add this on, so then I can take our bridge here, and granted, I could always put the bridge on top too, but if you want to kind of maximize your distance, especially to have room for like vehicles to travel underneath too, this gives you a little bit of extra leeway, and so I think that's super, super cool. And I'm going to put this other one over here, and now I'm ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to change things up a little bit, and we're gonna go ahead and put this together. We can do a whole bunch of different ways to build this. Oh, so much fun. All right, so I've kind of put the two of these pieces together. I've got this one as a layer 2. This one is layer 1, or like height 1. And just so I've got a little Legion range tool, as you can see right here. This one, this first piece is just under 6 inches. So this is clearly height 1, whereas this part is clearly height 2. And then the middle section would be over height 2. So you couldn't jump over the middle, but what you can do is you can definitely jump up to the 1. And then of course we have this, and now we have like a lot of room here. We've got we've got like 9 inches in between these two. So you can have a lot of room for tanks and everything to go underneath, a lot of room for hands to reach in, move units around without having to worry too much about how you're going to get in there and like if you're going to knock anything over, which is really cool because that's a big part of tabletop terrain is, you want things to look really cool, but you don't want them too crowded that you can't actually play. We've also got these cool ladders, so we can set a ladder up to go right there. So for the folks that don't have jump, like these poor little phase 1 clones, and they're like, how are we going to get up there? And you have a double height ladder too that also has the clip system, so we can clip these in and boom, and look at that crazy ladder if you want to do that, right? Crazy train ladder. And so boom, boom, boom. We've also have some more vine pieces that we can set up on here. I don't want to knock anything over, but we can set these up pretty easily in there and kind of have we can put them on either side because all 4 sides have the attachments. So you can break this down and rebuild it any which way you want. We gotta give it a little push so it locks in there, but I'm afraid that I'm gonna knock something over right there. All right, so there we go. Now, normally you would probably put these in before you built the whole thing out. So I'm doing this on the fly. We're just having fun with it because I think that's one of the coolest parts of terrain. And I'm gonna put some stuff on here too. Let's populate it a little bit. It's just building, having fun. So just kind of give you some different angles and stuff, and to kind of populate this with a lot more minis. You can fit an awful lot on here, and I only have a handful on. Lots of room for more. Also, I want to kind of talk about how big these pieces are. Some types of terrain are a little too small to really fit entire units on, and that's a problem that you don't have here. Especially like even vehicles, like a fluttercraft, right? I can fit that on and have plenty of extra room over here. I can even fit the fluttercraft up here on the pathway that's moving. So you have a lot of room and a lot of flexibility because you don't want terrain to be so artsy and so beautiful that you can't play with it. And this is kind of the best of both worlds in that case. So really fun stuff. Again, we're going to have a link if you want to check this out and order yourself some in the video description below. Again, big thanks to Imperial Terrain for making this possible, sending this out to us for review. Definitely gonna be keeping this in the collection, and you'll probably see it in some future battle reports. But I have a lot of other wood terrain type stuff that'll mix really well with this, and we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. All right, that's gonna do it for today's video. I want to thank you all so much. The big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely amazing and help make this all possible. So thank you for your continued support. I will talk to you guys later. May the force be with you. Live long and prosper. Yub nub and